What if I told you that 3 revolutionary electric vehicles are about to hit the roads next year, and one of them could cost less than your neighbor's used sedan? We're talking about a complete shakeup in the EV world, and the timing couldn't be more perfect. Stick around because what's coming will blow your mind. So here's the deal. The electric vehicle industry is about to witness something massive, and it's happening faster than most people realize. We're looking at vehicles that could start around $25,000, travel up to 400 miles on a single charge, and completely change how we think about transportation. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about one car. We're talking about an entire lineup of game-changing vehicles that'll be rolling out before you know it. Let me break this down for you because there's a lot to unpack here. Based on everything we've been seeing from suppliers, industry insiders, and official announcements, something huge is brewing. The company that's been dominating headlines for years is about to expand its lineup in ways that'll make your head spin. And the best part? These aren't just concepts or vaporware. Production is already being planned. Here's what we know so far. The first big reveal is expected to happen this October. Mark your calendars, because October 10th could be the day that changes everything. On that day, we're expecting to see not one, but potentially 2 versions of a brand new vehicle. One version will be your standard model, sleek, affordable, and perfect for everyday driving. The other? Well, that's where things get interesting. This second version is being designed as a fully autonomous vehicle, capable of operating without any human intervention whatsoever. Now, I know what you're thinking. Autonomous vehicles have been promised for years, right? But here's why this time feels different. The technology has finally caught up to the vision. We're not talking about fancy cruise control anymore. We're talking about vehicles that can navigate city streets, handle complex traffic situations, and get you from point A to point B while you catch up on your favorite shows or finish that work presentation. But that's just the beginning. The real story here is about accessibility. For years, critics have hammered electric vehicles for being too expensive, out of reach for average families. Well, that criticism is about to get dismantled. The upcoming lineup includes several models that are specifically designed to be affordable without sacrificing quality or performance. And here's the genius part. They're going to be built on the same production lines as existing vehicles, which means production can scale up quickly without massive infrastructure investments. Let's talk about what's actually hitting the market. First up, we have what insiders are calling the entry-level model. This is the vehicle that could start around that magical $25,000 price point. Now, to achieve that price, some clever engineering is happening behind the scenes. The battery packs are being optimized. Smaller, yes, but also more efficient. We're talking about higher energy density, lighter materials, and smarter power management systems that squeeze every mile out of every charge. And here's something fascinating. These smaller battery packs aren't going to mean shorter range. Through a combination of weight reduction, aerodynamic improvements, and battery efficiency gains, these vehicles are expected to match or even exceed the range of current models that use larger, more expensive batteries. Imagine getting 300 miles of range from a battery pack that costs significantly less to produce. That's the kind of innovation we're seeing. Now let's shift gears and talk about another model that's generating serious buzz. An updated version of one of the most popular vehicles on the road today. This refresh, expected to launch in the 4th quarter of this year, is bringing some major improvements. We're talking about a vehicle that's already beloved by drivers worldwide. But now it's getting a makeover that includes those same efficient battery packs, reduced production costs, and a price tag that'll make it even more attractive to buyers. Here's why this matters. If you can take a vehicle that's already selling well and make it more affordable while adding new features, you've got a recipe for market domination. Industry analysts are already predicting that this updated model could become the best-selling vehicle in the world next year. Not just the best-selling electric vehicle, the best-selling vehicle, period. That's how significant this update could be. But wait, there's more. The lineup doesn't stop at affordable sedans and SUVs. There's also work happening on a truck, an electric truck that's designed to compete in one of the toughest, most competitive segments of the automotive market. Now, this isn't the massive semi-truck designed for long-haul freight. We're talking about a consumer truck, something you'd actually drive to the hardware store or use for weekend camping trips. And just like the other vehicles, The focus is on making it affordable without compromising on capability. Speaking of that semi-truck, though, let's dive into the bigger picture. The company isn't just revolutionizing personal transportation. They're going after commercial transport, sports cars, and even the concept of human labor itself. Ambitious? Absolutely. But here's what's been announced for next year's production schedule, and it's absolutely wild. The 18-wheeler electric truck designed for freight hauling is expected to begin production by the end of next year. Now, this vehicle has been in development for years, and it's finally reaching the finish line. The potential impact here is enormous. Trucks transport about 75% of freight across the country, and if you can electrify that fleet, you're talking about massive reductions in fuel costs, emissions, and operating expenses. Plus, with autonomous driving technology, these trucks could theoretically operate around the clock with enhanced safety features. Then there's the sports car. Oh man, the sports car. This isn't your average electric vehicle. This is a high-performance machine that's been teased for years, and production is supposedly starting next year. We're talking about a vehicle that's designed to outperform every gas-powered sports car on the market. The designer has even made some wild claims about this car's capabilities, things that sound almost too good to be true. But if even half of those promises come to fruition, this could redefine what we think a car can do. And let's not forget about the autonomous taxi service. This is the fully self-driving vehicle that's expected to launch in October, with the capability to operate without any human driver whatsoever. Imagine summoning a car with your phone, having it pick you up, take you where you need to go, and then drive off to pick up the next passenger, all without anyone behind the wheel. That's the vision, and if it works, it could completely transform urban transportation. Now, I need to pump the brakes for a second and talk about reality. Because here's the thing. Timelines in the automotive industry are notoriously optimistic. Some of these products have been promised before, and deadlines have been missed. The semi-truck was originally supposed to launch years ago. The sports car has been delayed multiple times since it was first announced back in 2017. And the autonomous driving technology that's supposed to power all of this has been just around the corner for the better part of a decade. So what's different this time? Well, for one thing, the company has repeatedly stated in their official reports and shareholder meetings that they're preparing for 6 major products to be ready next year. That's not coming from rumors or speculation. That's coming from official corporate communications. They've also been making significant investments in production capacity, battery technology, and autonomous driving systems. The pieces are finally coming together. Let's talk about those batteries for a minute, because this is where things get really interesting. To produce affordable electric vehicles at scale, you need affordable batteries at scale. And that's exactly what's being set up right now. There's a massive expansion happening in manufacturing facilities, over 1 million square feet of additional space being leased to support battery production. We're talking about facilities with rail access, strategic locations, and the capability to produce millions of battery cells. The battery technology itself is evolving rapidly. There are 2 main types being developed right now. The first is a proprietary cell design that's been in development for years. The second is a licensed technology from an advanced battery manufacturer that produces some of the most efficient lithium batteries available. These second-generation batteries are absolute game changers. They can charge at incredibly high power levels. We're talking about adding hundreds of miles of range in just minutes. They perform exceptionally well in extreme cold, losing only about 5% efficiency even at temperatures of -30 degrees. And they're cheaper to produce than traditional battery designs. This battery technology is key to hitting that $25,000 price point. With these batteries, you could build a vehicle with a 50 kilowatt-hour battery pack that delivers 300 miles of range. That's smaller than current battery packs, but just as capable, thanks to improved efficiency. And because these batteries are cheaper to manufacture, the savings get passed directly to consumers. But here's something most people aren't talking about. These batteries aren't just for vehicles. The fastest growing segment right now is actually energy storage. We're talking about massive battery installations that store renewable energy for homes, businesses, and even entire communities. These same battery cells can be used for those applications, which means the production scale can be even larger, driving costs down even further. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Can all of this actually happen on schedule? The track record suggests we should be cautiously optimistic. Products have been delayed before. The sports car was supposed to launch years ago. Customers who put down deposits, significant deposits, sometimes $50,000 or more, have been waiting patiently. If those deposits had been invested elsewhere, they could be worth millions today. That's a tough pill to swallow. The autonomous driving technology has also been perpetually next year for about a decade now. Customers were told their vehicles had all the hardware necessary for full self-driving, but software updates have been slow to arrive. Some early vehicles that purchased the self-driving feature are now outdated and need replacement, even though they never received the full functionality they paid for. That's created understandable frustration and skepticism. And here's a tricky situation. The original vision for autonomous taxis was that regular consumer vehicles would be able to operate as taxis when their owners weren't using them. Owners could make money by letting their cars transport other people autonomously. But now there's talk of a separate, dedicated autonomous taxi product. So what happens to the original promise? Will regular vehicles still be able to function as taxis, or was that just marketing hype? These are legitimate questions that need answers. Despite these concerns, there are reasons to be optimistic this time around. The production infrastructure is being built out at an unprecedented scale. Battery technology has reached a point where the economics finally make sense. And perhaps most importantly, there's genuine competition now in the electric vehicle space, which creates pressure to deliver on promises or risk losing market share. Looking at the bigger picture, what we're witnessing is potentially the tipping point for electric vehicle adoption. For years, electric vehicles have been seen as premium products, nice to have if you can afford them, but not practical for most people. These upcoming models flip that script entirely. We're talking about vehicles that are affordable, practical, and actually better than their gas-powered equivalents in many ways. Think about what this means. Lower fuel costs, since electricity is cheaper than gasoline. Lower maintenance costs, since electric motors have fewer moving parts. Better performance, since electric motors deliver instant torque. And increasingly, better range and charging infrastructure, which eliminates the anxiety about running out of power on long trips. The impact extends beyond just personal transportation. Commercial fleets could save millions by switching to electric trucks. Autonomous taxis could reduce the cost of urban transportation while easing traffic congestion. Energy storage systems could make renewable energy more practical and reliable. We're not just talking about replacing gas cars with electric ones. We're talking about reimagining how transportation and energy systems work. Of course, challenges remain. Charging infrastructure needs to continue expanding. Battery production needs to scale up dramatically. And the autonomous driving technology needs to prove itself reliable and safe in real-world conditions. These aren't small hurdles, but they're solvable with continued investment and innovation. Here's what I think is going to happen. The affordable models will launch next year, probably in the first half as announced. They'll be well received because the market is ready for affordable electric vehicles that don't compromise on quality. The updated SUV model will become a bestseller just as predicted because it hits the sweet spot of price, features, and practicality. The autonomous taxi reveal will generate huge buzz, though full deployment might take longer than initially suggested. The semi-truck will begin production but probably at lower volumes initially as the company works out the manufacturing process. The sports car will finally launch, delighting the customers who've waited years for it. And the autonomous driving technology will continue improving, getting closer to full autonomy, but probably not quite achieving it by year's end. But here's the thing, even if everything doesn't happen exactly on schedule, the direction is clear. Electric vehicles are becoming mainstream. Autonomous driving is advancing rapidly. Battery technology is improving and costs are dropping. The future of transportation is being built right now, and we're witnessing it in real time. So what should you take away from all this? If you're in the market for a vehicle, it might be worth waiting to see what launches next year. The combination of new models, improved technology, and competitive pricing could make next year the perfect time to go electric. If you're skeptical about electric vehicles, the upcoming models might finally address your concerns about cost, range, and practicality. And if you're excited about the future of transportation, well, buckle up, because the next 12 months are going to be absolutely wild. We're going to see innovations that seemed impossible just a few years ago become reality. We're going to see electric vehicles go from niche products to mainstream choices. And we're going to see the automotive industry transformed in ways that'll impact our lives for decades to come. The revolution isn't coming, it's already here. The question is, are you ready for it? If you found this deep dive valuable, smash that like button and let me know in the comments which of these vehicles you're most excited about. Are you waiting for that affordable entry-level model? Dreaming about the sports car? Curious about the autonomous taxi? Drop your thoughts below. And if you want to stay updated on all the latest developments in the electric vehicle world, make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, because things are moving fast and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay charged, everyone!